Okay, so Simone, are you here?
Want to.
Simone? No? Oh, there you are. Okay. Just in time, almost. Okay. So, we are going to talk about the next step for crypto, instant and free payments. So I think in the meantime, I'm taking over for Denise. I'm Victoria Gago from European Blockchain Convention. Have a seat. So I think quickly, 30 seconds each of you. Simone, do you want to start? Who are you and why are you
Yes,
here?
yes,
30
that's
seconds each.
please.
Welcome. About yourself.
Yeah, hi to everybody. My name is Simone. I'm CEO of Codego Group. I represent our company. We are a EMI company, fintech. We build the white label solutions for financial institutions and banks. We do offer different kind of service, crypto related and not as card issuing, but service and KYC, artificial intelligence services. So it's the fourth participation in this event. We are pretty friends with Victoria since around now. I think this is the third year, and very glad to be here and share with you our experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simone. Jovi.
Hello, hello. Thank you. Good morning. So let me first start. The company is called Unlimit, not Unlimited, and it's pronounced Jovi, as in John Bon Jovi, not Hovi. A lot of people make that mistake. I'm the MD of Unlimit Banking as a Service Solution, part of the Unlimit Group. We're a global fintech, and we help companies to make and receive payments. And we do that through a number of verticals. That is through acquiring, which is our core business, through the issuance of corporate accounts, through card issuing, and through my baby, which is banking as a service. So we essentially help any business, any companies, any clients essentially utilize our innovative suite of APIs to utilize our principal membership of the card scheme, so MasterCard, Visa, UP, our e-money license in Europe and in the UK. We wrap that all around as a white label and offer it to clients to essentially open accounts and to issue cards for their customers. Very happy to be here, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Guido. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but
Guido or Guido.
Guido.
Italian.
Yeah, I mean, in Europe we have so many different languages. It's
Exactly.
difficult.
No, it depends. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm representing today Zonda Crypto. Zonda Crypto is the biggest regulated exchange in Europe with 1.2 million registered users, and also has a feature which is Zonda Crypto Pay, which consists of three services. One is ramp services for Euro and Polish zloty. The second one is payment gateway for online services, and it also has a point of sale solutions for commercial providers. And maybe I'm formally known very much as the SEBA Bank founder and established that bank 2018.
Fantastic. So, I mean, I think we all know that payments was basically the first use case, right? If we look at the Bitcoin white paper. So, where are we now? I mean, how many years after are we now? Is it 13, 14? I don't even know. What's the status right now when it comes to payments in crypto?
Well, let's consider, of course, now we enter in an era where the crypto market is jumping in a bear and bull season. But what is the main demand of the market? We know is to create the solution to be able to convert the crypto fiat and give the possibility to the customers, to the users to spend in real life. That is where our business, our companies enter into the market, into the field. And from our point, we are trying to develop as much solution as possible and as much easy as possible. From our end, we can say that our company, for example, talking about Codego, is developing innovation constantly on quarter basis in terms of cards possibility for the market to generate, of course, in terms of either API way or through full core banking solution, the chance to permit, of course, to all the user to be as much freely in moment they can spend in crypto directly via fiat.
Okay. Before we delve into the discussion, I'd like, just indulge me for a second, to conduct and get a pulse of the crowd and to conduct a straw poll very quickly. So, hands up here, who believes that to open an account, to make a payment, to use a debit card, credit card, prepaid card, you have to give your personal information, your financial information to a centralized regulated entity? Hands up who believes that. Exactly. So it seems that a lot of us here, our understanding is rooted in traditional finance, which is a good thing. But crypto challenges this notion and presents us with a dilemma. And essentially, it is how do we move forward, I guess, with instant and free crypto payments with a framework that is anchored in regulation. Now, a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of my circle, when I tell them that I work in fintech and banking as a service, and they go, "What is that? What does that mean?" And I say, "Okay, think about likes of Monzo, Revolut." A lot of them still don't understand, what that means. And then when we bring crypto into play, a lot of them have no idea, what I'm talking about, or they think it's this fancy, technical mumbo jumbo that they have no idea about. So a lot more people still has really no clue about crypto, and what I believe is Web3. So until we have mainstream adoption, and again, let's be very clear about this. Everyone here has an understanding of crypto and payments, but there are a lot more people who do not have an understanding. So it's not as, I would say, mainstream. So therefore, we still need, I guess, to have mass adoption. So with respect to the state of payments, I think that's where we are.
Yeah, I would like to build up on your arguments. I strongly believe that the next blockchain move is going to be in instant payment, and it's cross-border payments. If you look at the total market, it's about below 200 trillion US dollar, so significantly. It is also believed that it's going to increase over the next couple of years up to 250 trillion. So if you compare that to the size of the biggest asset class, which is real estate, is phenomenal. We also have a promise, right, of blockchain, the decentralization, access for everyone, for financial services. But as you pointed out, if one wants to have cross-border payments, you actually still have to go through the rails of the SWIFT network, basically. And blockchain has the opportunity to put the coffin on the nail of SWIFT by applying this technology, also in the context of stablecoin. And the challenge is to create this network in a cost-efficient way and be also regulatory compliant for cross-border payments. And I think this is what we are going to discuss today.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so if we look a little bit into the topic, we're trying to get into a stage where we will have instant and free payments. But if we have to look also like the security and scalability questions, I mean, how can we get instant free payments and still have a proper security, and also make sure that that the technology is scalable?
Well, from our point of view, of course, in terms of security is very delicate. Yeah, in terms of security, sure, is very delicate topic, and today, sure, in terms of KYB and KYC regulators, we do need to make much more step forward. From our point of view, sure, as much we can through the technology to either verify or either implement in terms of liveness biometric system in order to prevent. Of course, now there is a situation with the artificial intelligence. The world is moving in a different direction, and now we have to see also Europe what will decide with the AI Act in terms of the security measures for this purpose. But we believe, of course, is the duty of all our businesses, our company, to be able to manage this, this field.
Hello, hello. Hello there. Sorry to interrupt. That was totally fascinating. I'm kind of breaking the flow a bit because we have now the opportunity to welcome properly our wonderful moderator. A big thanks to Victoria Gago for standing in there. That was absolutely brilliant. Wonderful stuff. Great speakers there. And a big round of applause for our wonderful moderator, Denise Donoso, the Spanish team lead at Being Crypto. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Thank you for the introduction. Sorry to be late. I am really excited to be here in this European Blockchain Convention. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here. Thank you, Victoria, for inviting me. I am the team lead of Crypto. We cover 14 languages. We are a media crypto outlet, and I am the Spanish team lead. The Spanish is the largest community with more than 2 million active members. Well, we're going to continue. Thank you so much with this wonderful panel. So following up Victoria's questions, I would like to know about the regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrency vary widely. So I would like to know in each of your cases, how do you see the regulatory statement currently, how will be helping into the introduction of payment in crypto? Yes. Can we start, please?
No worries. And Denise, sorry, yes. Before I answer very quickly, Guido, you made a comment earlier. You said that the blockchain will essentially be the final nail in the coffin for SWIFT. Could you elaborate just a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, sure. So basically, people ask me, what's the difference between digital money today and stable coins, right? And the answer is, a blockchain item, a token, is a digital autonomous object. It basically can float like physical cash from one wallet to another. The digital money today has to go through predefined rails, right? So if you see in the context of geopolitical measures, the first thing that is being done is basically to disconnect the players from SWIFT, and therefore there is no rail anymore for the digital money. And that's what I believe is the significant potential for us as a blockchain industry and community to enable this cross-border payment. So if you have a solution that allows us to go peer-to-peer, but still comply with the regulatory requirement, which is a challenge that we need to discuss, and there are potential opportunities, we can overcome SWIFT, right? And SWIFT is a measure of control, but it's also an additional cost. So if you look at, for instance, I just looked at the statistics from a cross-border payments perspective in the less established countries. You know, there are people that maybe make per day $5 to $10. I'm not talking to the ultra poor, but let's say reasonable income, and they want to cross-border pay it back to their family. It's up to 8% that they have to pay for these commissions because it has to go through these rails. And that's what I believe is the next big promise for us as a blockchain community, to enable these instant cross-border payments through blockchain technology, which will be the field of further innovation. And if you allow me, now Bitcoin is up, right? And people think about crypto winter is gone. But I believe, the white paper syndrome, the next layer 1, layer 2, that's basically past, right? What we have to do is now create use cases that link the digital world with real economy pain points. And payments is the first one and is addressing the biggest population in the world, and it includes the unbanked. And this is going to be the power for the next evolution.
Yeah, but from my point of view, also we have to consider that many countries which are considered as emerging countries, sure, they will have the difficulties in terms of verification process to be able, of course, to use the service itself in terms of regulatory, in terms of system, in terms of technologies that they can achieve on this point. So, of course, we know everybody, a market like the African market is very emerging, especially in Nigeria, which in a perspective of 2050 going to be the sixth biggest country in the world in terms of economy. From this point, we are still a little bit back. I mean, the system is still not supporting them. And sure, when an end user from Nigeria will have to be verified in terms of proof of address or in terms of guarantees that they can give, there where we stuck. I mean, this is still we are not. I mean, the system is still not able to provide for them this solution. For example, I believe all of us we have this kind of cases from the third considered world countries. Sure, they have the willing to, but today they are still looking to find some solution or to find someone which can provide solution for them. But there's a big needs and there's big demand. The point is how the market can solve it.
I'd add, and again very quickly, that governments globally, regulators, central banks, they are going to regulate within an inch of its life, crypto, blockchain, decentralization. And it's a challenge to find the balance between innovation and regulation, between decentralization and security, and ultimately between freedom and accountability. And it's very hard to navigate those challenges. I mean, you talk about regulation. I'm from Nigeria, and just to send money to my mother in Nigeria is a challenge from a fiat perspective. Every month, I try to send payments from my HSBC account, via Flutterwave to Nigeria. The same amount, the same time of month, and every time it gets blocked, every time, and it gets flagged for fraud. And this is from a fiat perspective. So can you imagine how difficult it's going to be if I was to use, Bitcoin to this? In Nigeria, you can't even send, Bitcoin. So it becomes incredibly difficult. And when regulators get involved, and again, they're going to regulate this to within an inch of its life, it becomes increasingly difficult for crypto to be instant, to be free, ultimately.
And especially, let me add for what you say, Jovi, correctly, even if in Nigeria you might have a Bitcoin, how they can spend then the Bitcoin? They don't have the facilities to spend
Exactly.
the Bitcoin in real life. Because which tools they can use? Of course, they will try through a card system, but who can issue the cards on this kind of country, according which kind of guarantees? So this is, of course, is a big channel that we will have to face it sooner or later with a very strong action from our point of view.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if it would have been easy, we would already see a category leader in that space. And we have to work with the regulators, right? You can't go against the regulators. So cross-border payments for crypto is feasible, but it's not legal if you go to cross-border. The banking system sucks, right, when it comes to payments. I mean, just your example, you just want to basically transfer money. It takes too long. Cross-border payments takes in average 4 days. If you do the payments on blockchain, you can say the block until it's confirmed, it takes up to 30 minutes, but it's still a significant improvement. So what we have to think is, how are we dealing with that? And I think the first one, obviously you have to have ramp-on services, and then you need to have stable coins that are trustful. I mean, US dollar Tether is leading, but there are certain questions, I'm not going into this. But there should be, there are banks out there that could actually issue trustful stable coins. The next one is the travel rule. So yesterday our CEO presented the MiCA regulation that comes into play. One topic is the travel rules, right? So if I buy sneakers in Mexico out of Nigeria, right? The ultimate beneficial needs to be stated and all the information has to flow. So there are solutions in play. They try to use the certain, I think it's the Ethereum free fields to basically fill out this information. But this is a very painful, data-intensive activity. But what about if we attach digital identity to a wallet? But we don't use a digital identity that's controlled centralized, but we use a self-sovereign digital identity and connect these wallets. And you can control what kind of information you are giving away. And if you, for instance, if you think about in China, now I'm not sure it's Shanghai or Beijing, if you come into the country and you can register on a wallet and you go into a train station, they identify yourself by your face and it's already being booked. 2 weeks ago, I went to the US in Texas. When you go into the migration, you just show your face and then everything is identified. So let's think about these modular opportunities. I don't know what the answer is, but I think we all agree when we can connect these three elements, this is going to be the beginning of proper adoption of the Internet of Value, which call it blockchain or Web3.
Exactly. Connecting also this point, for example, I don't know if you heard from 2024, Singapore change airport. Already they plan to have all the transit of the passenger through face recognition. The point, yes, also from our end, one target of our company is, yesterday was presented from our CEO, is the face payment system. Sure, nowadays the problem, of course, for the Artificial Intelligence Act, the European community is evaluating if this can be a good solution, because we saw already in China, in UK, I believe as well, you do have from the cameras installed on the road, on the street, the people, they can already recognize what are you doing. So it's matter also of limitation of the privacy of the individuals. And this is another important factor that keeps in which way we need to move to facilitate from one side the payment process, or from the other side to limitate the privacy of the individuals.
I agree. I mean, Taiwan has the first minister of data secrecy, right? And she basically made the point, the transparency, is it good for the government or is it good for the citizen? And, the jury is out. This is the trade-off of digitalized services. And as a society, I hope we can steer the direction in a democratic way and process, but also as an industry, right? There is Monero, Zcash, the anonymized money. So maybe there is an opportunity to establish these currencies up to a certain limit. I don't know, but we have to work with the regulators and educate them. And the regulators that are not bad citizens in that way, their objective is to make sure that investors are protected that have limited knowledge, and that fraudulent players are being detected. And sometimes they overshoot, and we have every year we had a bad case, a bad narrative for those people that are critical to our industry. So let's work with the regulators and step by step, with baby steps, come to the right conclusion. And that's my statement. If we are in a position to put the nail on the coffin of SWIFT, then we have achieved the Web3 enablement.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for your input. It's been it's a long journey, but I think that crypto adoption is here to stay, and definitely crypto payments is like a process, something that will come. And of course, we need the education is a key. not only for regulators, but as well for users. So thank you so much. It's been I don't know if you would like to add something.
Sure, I'll add something. Every time I come to these events, I always leave thinking, have I learned anything new? Has anything fresh and innovative been said by the speakers or by the panelists? And the topic is the next step for crypto, instant and free payments. And ultimately, what we've said here today, it's nothing new. It's not new information. It's nothing innovative. So I guess what I'd like to say is that fundamentally, in order for crypto to become more mainstream and to be widely adopted, from a BaaS perspective, a banking as a service perspective, I am here to look for innovative application layer companies who are looking to launch something innovative, fresh, and new into the market. We will work with you, because I think the crypto Web3 blockchain is the next step, in for the future. And I am here, as MD of BaaS, to provide you with assistance, because you guys are the ones that are going to develop something innovative to make crypto instant and free and to make mainstream and mass adoption. Thank you. Awesome.